करेंगे। Ram Ram, Namaste, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Align and thrive with Geetika and Sunny. It is a very special moment because I feel touched by this gem of a person, a spiritual being, a man of wisdom, a man of love, a man of truth. Arvind Jain ji is a property expert helping HNI multiply wealth with vibrant properties. Yes, he's a qualified lawyer, lawyer turned coach. So let's listen to him about the secret of building prosperity empire. Welcome, Arvind ji.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sir, lawyer कैसे बने और क्यों बने?
Lawyer, actually, मैं engineer हूँ. I did my MBA in marketing, and I was happy doing a marketing job for an IT company. And my father's law firm prospered very well during that period, and a good number of staff just left away. And plus, father had started constructing a very big building, and all that had to be taken care of. So the law firm was not was a little bit unsettled. So I became a lawyer in the process. And I
यानी
had to
हेल्प
handle
करते करते
properties.
एक्सपर्टीज आ गई आपको. वेरी गुड.
Yeah.
पुण्य करते
So
करते पापा का आशीर्वाद लेते लेते आपने नोट बना लिए. वेरी गुड. सर,
thank you so
what
much.
is the big why behind all this?
What is the?
Why coach?
Sorry?
Why do you coach? What is your big why?
Because one is first to save people from the problems which I had gone through. They don't have to go through the same problem again. I can find a shorter way. And there is a lot of prosperity in properties, which many people do not realize, and they make stupid or foolish decision with their properties, because of which they never make money in properties.
ठीक है, 2 टिप्स दे दो सर. मेरे को और गीतिका को इन्वेस्ट करना है अभी.
आपको 2 टिप्स चाहिए.
हाँ. How
To
to
invest in
invest?
properties.
Which property to invest?
No, property is not a game which works on tips. I'm sorry. Please do not invest on properties. अभी तो stock market भी tips पे करने वाली चीज नहीं रही. So if you want to invest on tips, it is best to invest in something which you know very well, which you are the master of, something which you have studied for the last 5 years, 10 years. And properties is something which you need to watch it at least for 3 years before you put in your hard-earned money into it. And when you're investing in properties, you have to roam a lot. You have to know the locality where you invest in. You have to know the locality very deeply. You have to know about the pricing very deeply. And if you are choosing a specific property, you have to have at least 5 or 6 whys before putting your money into that property.
So there's latest trend saying, never buy a house, live in a rented house like a king. Why buy a house and be a knocker of a bank, getting EMIs on your head? So what is your take on it, sir?
In India specifically, this is said because in India this holds good because rentals are very low in India. If you buy a house and pay an EMI, you can get it on rent at 1/3 the EMI. So it doesn't make sense to buy an apartment in India, but buying a house is good enough because buying an apartment has certain negative aspects to it because you don't become the complete owner. You're just the owner of the floor below you and the ceiling above you. And the ceiling above you. You don't have much equity or much controlling power over the land. So they say that in India it is better to stay in a rented house, but other properties, your commercial properties, it is worth investing in.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Now you have a beautiful smile, constant smile. What is the secret of your smile, sir?
What is the
secret of your smile? भगवान का नाम लेते हो, सेटिंग है भगवान से, सत्संग जाते हो, भगवत गीता पढ़ते हो, भजन करते हो.
सर आपकी खुशी इसमें रिफ्लेक्ट हो रही है.
सर आई लव योर लव, इसीलिए आपको गेस्ट हमने इनवाइट किया और पुल कर लिया. प्लीज कम. प्रॉपर्टी टिप्स भी मिल गए हमें कि भाई देख के लेना और खुद जाके 4 जगह ढूंढ के रेट पता करके लोकेलिटी का रेट क्या है, क्योंकि ऐसा होता है लोग महंगी ले लेते हैं, उल्लू बन जाते हैं. वेरी वेरी नाइस. सर योर 3 हैप्पीएस्ट मोमेंट्स, ये मेरा फेवरेट क्वेश्चन है.
My 3 happiest moments was when I won the first race of my life, it was a 4 kilometer race in my MBA. That was really great. And in my MBA college, suddenly I became popular overnight. And the second happiest moment was having very high billings in my legal profession for 3 continuous months with with a very good builder of Bangalore. That was really happy and it was very empowering. And the third happiest moment was finishing Freedom Finisher without much effort. So thanks to the support team of New Zealand.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Now I'll pass on to Geetika and she will ask all the intelligent questions.
Welcome,
First
Geetika.
of all, yeah, welcome Arvindji. And my first question would be, what is the most common myth among people with regards to property investing?
Specifically in India, people put a very high premium on rental income and the rent from a property, whereas the returns are actually very low when you divide it by the price of the property. So one of the biggest myths is that, and secondly, many people feel that construction is very simple in India, but they don't get into the technical details and into the design details. They just build matchboxes. The concept
Right.
of building vibrant spaces in India is not as popular, is not yet catching up in India, but slowly things are changing. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, true. So, and the second question would be, I think it's regarding to you, that what challenges you faced when you were starting in this journey, because you know that you have shared that you want to share the lessons that you have learned through your journey, and now you don't want that other people to face the same problems. So, any of your personal growth lesson or challenge that you want to share uh, that
Um,
has made you reach here as
I
a
think
successful coach?
I've already shared it.
Okay.
Any of this thing. I mean, the entire process of property acquisition, property development, property branding, and reselling, and removing your investments out, it is a very strategic and a very complicated process.
Okay.
Yeah, it gets simplified after you do it once or twice. Afterwards, it just happens by the turn of your hand. It takes time to learn, and somebody should take a third approach to do it rather than the going through the ad hoc process
Saying it.
I had gone through. That's the only.
Yeah. So, yes, I think with experience, you got to knack the code, what works, what doesn't works. And I think that's what you're trying to say. Uh, Still, any beginner tips for property investor, someone who wants and wish to, but is scared of getting into this field. So, what would you advise to them?
Particularly, see, in what happens in our life is we have a lot of experience doing small transaction deals, like buying a laptop, buying a refrigerator, or a day-to-day aata dal chini jo hum khareedte hain. But in properties, it is not a simple purchase. The process is much more complicated, and the due diligence which is involved before buying, the number of things which you have to think about are a little more complex. So many people who get into the property market, they either maybe they come from the jewelry market, or they come from the film industry, they come from the political industry. So they have seen a very simplified version of the world. And in every aspect of properties, things are more complicated. Here, people are not as straightforward as you see in other businesses. Say in other business, if I'm in a textile business, the suppliers who supply me generally will not play with the quality with me. But in property, you can never know. Anytime somebody may just play with you in your first and second projects. You have to be very careful over that. The quality control part is technically very complex over here. The legal acquisition part is complex over
here. Yes. So thank you for sharing. And yes, one more question, and this is coming out of curiosity, is that, what was your experience while cracking your first real estate deal? How you felt after that and what you have learned from that. Yeah.
My first real estate deal, I ended up being 20% above the market value because that was in a very desperate situation. We had almost scouted for 4 years to get a property in a specific locality. So at that time, the market was crashing. And I was aware that the market was crashing, but since it was I don't know what I saw in that property. I just, it was something like love at first sight. I just married to that property. But luckily for 5 years, it was almost stagnant. After that, it started rising with the market. I'm happy with that deal now, but that time it was a very big regret. In fact, the person who had come with me to negotiate, after we finished the deal and we walked out, he told me, Arvind, I think you said yes very fast and you were very impatient today. My brother-in-law was with me and he told you were very, very impatient today. And I don't know why did you said yes to this deal. It was an expensive one. But I just went ahead and I finished it off because of that 4 years. The 4 years trying in the property market made me really desperate. And today I have a lot of control. Today, even if I don't get a property for 2 years, I still stay cool. I won't be desperate that whatever I get, even if how much ever I like it, I will. You have to tame it very well. It's like taming. It's like taming a wild horse.
Yeah, nice. So patience and wise judgment, I guess.
And
So
the way you play with the mind on the other side.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. And sir, I'll pass on to Sunny ji. Yeah.
So life in one word answers.
Life in one word answer. A lovely game.
Business in one word.
A bigger game with bigger numbers.
Property in one word.
The best game with the best numbers.
Coaching in one word.
A very pure game.
Love in one word.
Where all games stop and you become true to yourself.
Money in one word.
A game again.
Arvind in one word.
Arvind in one word. Joy.
Yes, you are pure joy. And we love talking to you, sir. Thank you so much for coming and showering blessings. It was beautiful learning with you. And we wish you all the best in all your noble
Thank you so much.
endeavors. Thank you.
Yeah.